even though he had a whole YouTube channel where he was linking to all these radical sheikhs, like the Sheikh Fayez, that they weren't apparently, they didn't follow up on this guy.
Yeah, and they could have tied the mosque that he was going to if they'd done a little investigation on him. They could have followed him to his mosque or found out where he was going, found out he had ties to Muslim Brotherhood and radicalization. You know, what's amazing to me is Chairman King, for the last 2 years, talked about the radicalization of the Muslim youth here in America, and he was vilified and demonized because of it. We're seeing a prime example of it here. We're also seeing where the FBI was alerted by a foreign government, the Russians, about activities of the brother in Russia and Chechnya, and yet they failed to follow up on some of the basic things. So those are questions that, Sean, need to be answered and will be answered by this committee.
I mean, it seems very, very extremely odd in the fact that I guess it seems like there was an opportunity here where we were really warned and that we blew it in this case. Am I wrong?
We blew it. We sure did, and we're going to get to the bottom of it, and it just revealed on Fox News a minute ago that apparently the Canadians have uncovered something similar up there. So this thing's evolving, and there are a lot of leads that are going to be chased out.
You know, my number one fear, Congressman, whether or not this is an ongoing plot, whether or not there are foreign links. We know that the older brother spent a lot of time in Russia. Who was he associating with there? And if the warning came from Russia, that would tell us that they knew darn well what this guy was up to, and they were doing us a favor.
And who's he associated with here in the United States? Is there a larger cell that we need to be following? Who are those individuals? Are arrests being made? Those are questions that the Americans have. Are they going to be safe at the next marathon or ball game they go to? Is America and the Department of Homeland Security celebrating its 10th year anniversary, if you call it a celebration? And are we any safer today than we were when that department was set up 10 years ago?
Now, when I link this, for example, last week the president, I discovered, and Reuters reported on it, that the president had an unscheduled meeting. It was not on his calendar with the Saudi foreign minister. And this was happening all around the same time the issue of this foreign national and whether or not he'd be deported on this meeting tomorrow came up. Why do I think or suspect that once they investigated him for the Boston terror plot, and maybe they found that he was innocent, I don't